Welcome back. I'm joined now by Judy Randall, who is with Crime Stoppers. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, one thing we want to talk about is what exactly is Crime Stoppers? Is it local? Is it national? And what purpose does the organization serve?
Crime Stoppers is a local organization made up of local business people who are interested in helping fight and prevent crime. Many people think that Crime Stoppers is a division of the police department, but it isn't. It's a volunteer group. It is a national group. Our local chapter is a part of that national group. The purpose of Crime Stoppers is to provide an anonymous method for people to report tips about crimes. Someone can call the Albany Crime Stoppers tip line. They're given a PIN number. They do not have to give their name. They can leave the information. The information then is passed on to the local authorities. If they are later eligible for a reward, they still do not have to give their name. They would be able to call back later to find out if they are eligible to receive a reward.
I'm glad you said that, because I do want to clarify that not everyone who calls will get an award, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, how's that work out?
Well, many times there may be multiple phone calls for the same tip. And if it's the same information from multiple people, the person who called in the tip first is the person that would be eligible for the reward. Sometimes people call in with information that the police department or the authorities have already received, and even though their information may be accurate, they may not be eligible for a reward in that case.
And when someone is eligible for a reward, does that mean it has to be an arrest and a conviction, or just an arrest?
Many agencies pay only on conviction. We have been paying a partial reward upon the arrest and then an additional reward if there is later at the conviction. So it's possible that someone could get part of a tip and then get more later.
Okay. Now, I know one thing a lot of people want to know is exactly how much money are we talking about? Is it $50, $100, $1,000? What are we talking about?
Well, the rewards are based almost entirely on the severity of the crime. If it is a property crime, the rewards are much smaller. They may be as low as $50 to $100. If it is a crime that involves a death, usually it's possibly $1,000 or more. So it depends entirely on whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony, how much information they provided, were they the immediate cause of the arrest, that sort of thing.
Okay. Now, of course, the money doesn't come out of thin air.
Right.
You have to raise the money from community fundraisers.
That's correct.
Tell me about how people can get involved and help out with this kind of organization.
We recently had a golf tournament that we were able to raise a little bit of money with that, but our big fundraiser for the year each year is Oktoberfest. It will be this year, October the 20th, at the local Veterans Amphitheater. The tickets are $25 each. It will be German food and a band. The band is Relapse. So it'll be a fun time. Be a lot of fun.
Excellent. So for those of you who are wondering what the phone number is, we're going to throw it up on the screen. I say it a million times, I feel sometimes, but it's 229-436-TIPS. Plug it in right now. If you don't know what TIPS is, it's 229-436-8477. So if you see anything suspicious, something just doesn't look right, or if you physically see something, you know this is wrong, but I don't want to have my name attached to it, you can call Crime Stoppers, correct?
That's right. Or if you have information about a crime that has already occurred. We do encourage people that if there is a crime in progress, to call 911. If they just would not call 911 because of wanting to be anonymous, they can call the the tip line, and the call will still get to the correct authorities. It just takes a little bit longer.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, and stay tuned. We have more coming out. We have APD stepping up to the plate next to further explain why Crime Stoppers is so vital. All right, Major Russell Barnes from APD is joining me now to talk again more about Crime Stoppers. The one thing that we've seen somewhat in our community is the aura of you don't need to snitch if you see something. But we have seen success stories with Crime Stoppers, so sell the people right now on why it's important they even call since it's anonymous. Why should they tell if they see something?
Well, because if they don't, sooner or later it's going to be them. We've actually had cases where somebody has witnessed a crime, a burglary to a neighbor, and watched the TV being carried down the alley, and they didn't report it at the time. And then 2 weeks later, theirs got stolen. What goes around, it just keeps going until they stop it somehow. So they need to call in. The only way we're going to get a handle on it is for people to go ahead and get involved and call. No community in the planet can afford to have a policeman on every corner 24/7, 365 a year. We've got to have to work with the citizens, and they've got to work with us.
How important to you is it as a law enforcement officer to have that cooperation from the community to help you catch these criminals? How important is that?
It's extremely important. It's paramount. It doesn't work like it does on CSI, where you get it all closed in 30 minutes and that type of thing, and you've got all the forensic things in the world. Even the people out at Las Vegas would like to know where that crime lab is that they see on TV. But people out there giving us information because they are in the neighborhoods all the time. We may be driving through them. We may even drive through them often. But they're there, they live there, they know who belongs there and who doesn't, what looks suspicious and not. And if they give us a call, we can come out and check it out. If it turns out to be fine, good, then they can sleep well that night. They know it's all right. If it turns out to be something suspicious, then we can handle that as well. And we don't want them to get involved personally in it. We want them to call us. And if they don't want to be identified, they don't have to be, even if they're calling their regular line. But if they want to go ahead and give the tip for a crime that is going on in progress, or for some information that they have about a crime that's already occurred, no matter how long ago it did, we'd like to hear it. Call. If you see something, say something. That's the slogan that we use.
There you go. Well, you can actually go above and beyond see something, say something. You can actually get involved with the organization and come to meetings. Tell me, when are those meetings? If someone wants literature, where can they get that from?
You can pick them up at the police department. We've got brochures. We've got them in Spanish and English. And the meetings, the board meets the third Tuesday of the month at 4 p.m. in the community room at the Law Enforcement Center at 201 West Oglethorpe.
All right. Now we have just about a minute left, but tell me very quickly a success story, because people always want to know the proof in the pudding of, did this work?
One of the big successes, and occurred fairly recently, was when we had the homicide down off of Westtown Road in South Albany. And shortly after the victim was killed, someone used his ATM card. And the female who was using the ATM card had her head covered in a mask with eye holes cut in it and that type of thing. And you or I would not have known who she was. But somebody saw that on TV and recognized her just because they know her. And they called in that tip, and that turned out to be the person that we ended up charging with the murder.
Absolutely excellent. So if that doesn't prove it for you, I don't know what will. We are literally helping our officers solve crimes, which will help the crime rate go down. We're going to throw up that number again, Crime Stoppers 229-436 TIPS. We say it, memorize it, know it, love it, put it in your phone. Again, that's 229-436-8477. For more information, you can always go down to the police department. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
We certainly
I appreciate
it. And Ms. Randall, we want to thank her too. Now we're going to throw it over to Mike Morrison with a recap of the weather.